I wanted to do a quick video of one of my issues I'm dealing with now. So I'm logged in, two separate users on the 3D multi-user thing. You see the two androids in the distance on the left and the right on this computer. You can see them, that's one there, and one there is the same as that one and that one. And this Android right here is actually this display. But that's not really relevant to what I was looking at. So one of the things I've done is I've got in the ability to edit models in there. So I have this apartment building here, and I'll show you on the screen here since he's a little bit closer. But you'll notice that the apartment building, its scale is way off. It's very much off. So let me move a little bit closer to it. Like I said, the Android moving there is the other computer. So you can see that when you get really close to it, that it's real tiny. So let me back up a little bit. So I have an editor built into the system, so I can go down here, select apartment building, and this is ugly, I know, but just the way I'm doing the graphics here. So I'm going to mess with the scale on the building. So I just scaled it up. Okay. And I'm going to do it again. So now we're starting to be able to see a little bit more detail in it. Now, one of the things you probably noticed is there's piers underneath, and the piers don't seem to correlate to anything. So I'm going to lower it down into the ground. You start to see some of the detail that's actually in the model. So I'm going to enlarge it a good bit. And I have to lower it again. So now it's starting to look more like a normal building, but still the scale seems a little bit off. If you look at the size of the Android on the right side, he doesn't look like he would be somebody walking around inside that building. So I'm going to scale it up even more. And of course I have to lower it into the ground again. So now you notice the Android is actually inside the building on that side. When you look at him, he still doesn't quite seem right. So I'm going to back up a little bit more. So the one on the left, it looks like if he were to actually be standing inside the building, he hit his head on the ceiling and it'd be on the floor. So, and the same here. And like I said, the screen on the right is the Android in the middle. So I'm going to back him up a little bit more and you can see what I'm talking about. So typically when there's multiple users here, I still don't think that would work. So I need to scale it up even more. And lower it into the ground again. Oh, went too far. There we go. So I'm going to back this screen up ever so slightly. So it still looks like the Android's still too big for the building. You can see here, you can see a lot more detail in the building. You can see there's actually windows and balconies and everything else on it. So I'm going to scale it one more time. So let me back up a little tiny bit. And back up some more here. Okay. So you look at this Android now in comparison to the size of the building, and it looks more reasonable. Still a little bit too small. And now you get an idea of the kind of details that are in the building. Let me back him up a little bit more. Notice the railing starts to look kind of close to the right scale, but it's still just a tiny bit too small. And the building is pretty much the same on each side. It's the same way all the way around. So the constant battle is I can grab this model here. Oh, let me go back one. And you can see the Android now looks somewhat reasonable in size. But I can't use the same scale level because all the models are designed slightly different when I pull from a bunch of different sources. So then I have to custom scale each one in reality to find what seems like the right size for them. For this one it would be, I don't know, probably 10 times or more the normal size. And then when you do that for some buildings, it doesn't scale up well. So looking here, for example, this apartment building is right next to the Cathedral of Notre Dame. And when you look at it, the scale seems off on it too. So you would expect the handrails along the bridge there to correlate to somewhat what you would want them to be around midway through your waist in height. So that building also needs to be scaled up, and obviously there doesn't need to be an apartment building next to it. So let's see, let's move the apartment building out of the way. So it's a constant exercise of trying to get scale and the types of models all correct. But I just wanted to share that that's kind of one of the problems I have to deal with when I'm trying to set up an environment.